In today's presentation, I'm going to show you the different ways in which you can start a new ticket for a customer. Let's go ahead and head over to the Service Writer bar located at the top of our writer. In the Service Writer bar, you'll notice we have New RO, New Estimate, and Phone Quote. These are the three different ways in which you can create a new ticket for a customer. I'm going to go through and explain each of these ways in great detail. Let's start off with New RO. Clicking on New RO will expose the different ways in which you can search for a customer. Search is really important because if it's an existing customer, you're going to want to be able to navigate to their current profile. To search for a customer, you'll simply need to type in that customer's last name and click enter. Now, obviously, with a name like Smith, it's going to be pretty common, and you're going to find there is a large array of customers here. But if I wanted to narrow this search back down, I can type in the customer's last name, a simple comma and a space, and their first name, and it will locate that customer and pinpoint them accurately. Alternatively, we can also search for a customer by phone number and zip code. Again, the results will vary when you search by zip, but phone number will tend to be a little bit more direct in its search results. To the far right, we're able to search by vehicle information. If we wanted to find a customer simply by their license plate, we can go ahead and do that. And this will bring up a list of all vehicles with that corresponding license plate. You can also search by VIN number and fleet unit number. This is particularly useful when you're dealing with fleet accounts. Let's go ahead and create a new RO for a new customer. To create a new RO, I'll simply enter in my last name. And you can see here is my account. But for today, I want to create a new account. So I'm going to go ahead and write up my brother. And then from here, I can go ahead and enter in his information. You'll also need a phone number. Make sure your cursor is all the way to the far left. And once everything is in the black, you can go ahead and click on OK. Notice how if I don't have all the digits in place, it won't let me proceed any further. So make sure you have the number fully completed. You can also capture the customer's email right from here. And then you can just click on OK. Now, I want to draw your attention before I do click on OK to talk about other info. Other info can give you information about the customer, such as if you're going to provide them permanent discounts, if you want to turn off the mailing options, if you have marketing on for them. It can also tell you how much a customer has spent and the pricing levels in which you're going to charge them. Sometimes you're going to be dealing with a fleet customer, so you'd want to have different price points leveled out for that person. You can also set a limit for their charge account as well. Clicking back on customer, you can go ahead and click on OK. Now we should have a new RO here where we can enter in a customer's vehicle. So now from this field here, we have a couple of different ways in which we can create a new vehicle for this customer. Way number one is we have the license plate or VIN number available. If we have the VIN number available, we simply type it in the VIN field and click validate. That will validate that against the SmartyCat data. From here, we can go ahead and enter a license plate, and there we go. So it's a 2021 Tesla Model Y. We'll go ahead and hit OK. All right, so we have the vehicle loaded into the system. From here, we can go ahead and enter mileage, any sort of information as far as inspection date, color, whether it's four-wheel drive, a fleet unit number at that point, or even a barcode. If you wanted to add any vehicle notes, this is the place to go ahead and do that. That can be something about where the wheel lock is at, or if the windows were recently tinted. Once you have that corresponding information loaded, just simply click on OK. And now we have a brand new ticket that's been started. You'll notice a couple of things as we start this ticket. You'll notice that this area here is grayed off and it says courtesy check. You can pre-program checklist or labor operations that will auto-populate directly to a ticket upon writing it up. Things like this work best with inspections. If you find yourself often doing courtesy inspections, this would be something that you would want to auto-populate. It's just one less keystroke that you as a service writer have to make. Okay, so now that we've discussed writing up a new RO, what about new estimates? What separates an estimate from an RO? Let's go ahead and head back to that Service Writer bar at the very top. We're going to click on New Estimate. And for this example, we'll go ahead and search for a customer's vehicle by license plate. Once you locate the customer's vehicle, simply click on OK. You'll notice writing up an existing customer's estimate is really simple. It doesn't ask you all the information about the vehicle because, again, it remembers it from a previous visit. The same courtesy inspection will automatically be added to the ticket. You'll know it's added because you'll see it loaded here. It'll be grayed out. If you click on the parts and labor field, you can also view that courtesy inspection. Something I want to make mention about in the service request field is you have this top bar here that says customer request. We have preloaded, predefined descriptions in the top here. So if you find that the customer has additional requests, you can go ahead and add them simply by highlighting and clicking any one of the requests and clicking add request. Just make sure that before you go to print, you click save on the right-hand side. This will allow you to save any of the actions that you create on this ticket. You'll also find that you have an arrive time, and you can also choose a promise time. These are the times in which the customer's RO hits our writer and the time that you promise the customer that it will be ready. If the customer is going to wait for this vehicle, you also have a waiting icon to the far right to indicate the customer is a waiter. Clicking on the parts and labor tab will allow you to see any of the contents of which you just wrote up, along with any of the services that have been added to the ticket. So as you can see, an estimate is quite similar to an RO. However, if you notice at the very top bar in the estimate, you cannot finalize or take any monies that are owed on this ticket. The only way to do so is to convert this ticket to an RO in order to finalize. Another unique feature of estimates versus ROs is that you can save and or delete estimates. With ROs, the only option to remove them from the system is to finalize. That's the only action that you have to take. So that's one thing you want to keep in mind. And that's another powerful feature of obviously having estimates is the fact that if a customer decides to change his mind, you can simply go into change status and choose whether you want to save or delete it. Saving this estimate will allow you to save it to history for future use. Okay, let's talk about the third way to create an RO, which is phone quote. Phone quote is an extremely powerful utility that comes in handy if a customer should happen to call you. Let's click on phone quote. Now look what happens when we click on phone quote. It's no longer asking me for customer information or vehicle information. This makes this very fast and efficient, especially when we are on the phone with a customer. Now, if we're talking to a customer on a phone, we can still populate vehicle information. However, we no longer need a lot of the major details that make an RO and estimate what they are. We simply need a year, and in this case, we'll go ahead and put 2009. We need a make, and then we'll go ahead and say this is an Altima. As you can see, VIN number and mileage, it's red, but it's not going to require them since this is just a phone quote. We can also search for customer information or simply add a name and address directly to this field here. If we wanted to make this into something a little bit more permanent, such as a repair order or estimate, we can simply click on the convert icon and choose to convert to estimate on RO. This will allow you to search for the existing customer or allow you to create a new customer and vehicle. So that is the 3 ways in which you can create a RO or estimate directly from our writer. These are 3 very powerful utilities. And as we go through in further examples, we'll explain on how you build the interior contents of each of these options. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next one.